Welcome back, everyone, to the Castlevania Timeline Marathon. In the finale of the original timeline, we saw Soma defeat a cult who tried to resurrect Dracula out of him in the events of Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. Now let's travel back to the year 1047 in the events of the reboot trilogy of the Castlevania games, starting with Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1. Okay, this is just a GameStop case. I have the disc right here, the PlayStation 3 version. So let's get on with this review. Castlevania Lords of Shadow is a 3D action-adventure hack-and-slash developed by two studios, Mercury Steam and Kojima Production, and was released on October 5th, 2010 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and later the PC. In this game, we take control of an entirely new Belmont named Gabriel, who is on a quest to defeat the Lords of Shadow and resurrect his wife Marie. Throughout Gabriel's adventure, we also need to solve puzzles, going for more of a God of War style, are we? Now I always hear people giving the Lords of Shadow trilogy a bad rep because it's not connected to the original timeline, but the trilogy really isn't that bad. But anyway, time for that plot. So this game takes place in the year 1047. So if we were to connect this with the original timeline, this would have taken place even before Lament of Innocence in 1094. Gabriel, voiced by Robert Carlyle, is sent by the Brotherhood of Light to the Lake of Oblivion, where his dead wife Marie, voiced by Natasha McElhone, hope I pronounced that right, tells him that spirits who founded the Brotherhood said that the Lords of Shadow's power will save the world. We then meet a man from Gabe's order named Zobek, voiced by Sir Patrick Stewart, who also narrates the game. And he states that the prophecy has been kept secret, which tells of a pure-hearted warrior who will claim their power to overcome evil. Zobek and Gabe then entered the land of the Dark Lords in order to unite the heavens with the world once again. In the land of the Lycans, that means werewolf if you're unfamiliar with that word, we then meet the head honcho Cornell, voiced by Richard Ridings. Wait, you mean the hero from Castlevania Legacy of Darkness for the Nintendo 64? Anyway, we then later see the vampiress Camilla, voiced by Sally Canivetti. You mean Dracula's most iconic lackey across the original timeline, and we also get the first two pieces of the God Mask on his journey. After more hacking and slashing through enemies, Gabe then departs with Zobek for the land of the Necromancers for the final piece of the mask. There, Zobek appears before Gabriel with the devil mask over his face. Zobek actually used that devil mask to make Gabriel murder Marie. Zobek / Death is then burned to a crisp, and then Satan, voiced by Jason Icas, hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong, emerges and takes the God Mask from Zobek. And no, I am not kidding. Satan himself, Lucifer, King of Hell, ruler of demons, is the true main villain of this game. We then kill Satan, releasing all the souls from Limbo. But he then learns that the mask cannot bring Marie back, and it only allows Gabe to see through God's eyes. Well, that's a big oaf. That's a big ol' oaf right there. Marie then tells him that he has been given a new life to redeem himself before departing with the God Mask. And then Gabriel becomes Dracula. If you want to know what happened with Gabriel after the main campaign, there were two DLC packs known as Reverie and Resurrection, both of which were $10 from the PlayStation Store. We have Gabriel, who is now narrating this story, nice attention to detail there, Mercury, since Zobek is pretty much burned to a crisp, returning to Carmilla's castle to contain an ancient evil, the Forgotten One, voiced by Colin McFarlane. You mean that secret boss also from Lament of Innocence? Anyway, we also get the help of Carmilla's adopted daughter Laura, voiced by Grace Vance, who is a playable character in Reverie. Before entering the Forgotten One's realm, Laura sacrifices herself to make Gabriel not mortal, since mortals cannot enter. We now enter the events of the Resurrection DLC. We then encounter the Forgotten One, a demon who says to have power to rival that of Satan himself, but is defeated by Gabe and claims the power for himself. Corrupted, and as one more final middle finger to his humanity, Gabriel destroys the combat cross and leaves the portal. So, that was the full plot of Castlevania Lords of Shadow. And it feels more like a grand Lord of the Rings like movie than a plot to a Castlevania game. And to be completely, yeah, more Lord of the Rings like movie than a plot to a Castlevania game, if I'm being brutally honest. But the story is just as great as the gameplay, so how's that gameplay? Lords of Shadow uses more of a God of War-esque style of gameplay of a third-person action-adventure game, complete with a fixed camera. In the gameplay, we can perform different combos if we have the necessary points to spend to get new ones. We also get light and shadow magic, which heal and doubles the damage respectively. So the grand total of levels in Lords of Shadow is a whopping 50 levels. We also have the returning classic sub-weapons like the Silver Dagger, Holy Water, but we also get some new ones in the form of fairies and the Dark Crystal. And no, I'm not talking about that Jim Henson movie that gave the odd ones out nightmares as a child. So the gameplay overall, while sounding repetitive, is honestly fun. So, with all that being said, can I still recommend Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1? Yes, I can. This game may be rebooting the series, but I say it actually rebooted the series fairly well. I'm giving the first Castlevania Lords of Shadow an 8 out of 10. Now, I want to hear from you all. Have you played Lords of Shadow and could you recommend it to a friend? Leave your answers in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on that notification bell, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links will be down below. I've been Harrogate, and I will see you all in Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate. Thanks for watching, everyone.